Alright, use a calculator to find each value. We're going to find sine of the angle 72 degrees. So you're going to push sine of 72, and it's in degrees, so we're good. Push enter, and we're going to put equals 0.95. We'll just go to the hundredth. So 0.95. Then we type in tangent of 48 degrees. Tangent of 48. Enter. 1.11. And cosine of 12 degrees. 12 is equal to 0.9. We're going to round it. 0.98. Alright, find the trig ratios given that sine b equals 4/5. This one is a little bit harder. We're going to draw a picture. So we're going to draw a right triangle. Alright, I know that sine of b equals 4/5, which means sine is so. Sine is so. That means that this is the O, and that this is the H. So when I draw my triangle, I need to label the sides, but in order to do that, I need to know what angle we're going off of. You can choose. I'm just going to label this side B. And I'll label this one A. We'll just label it A. Okay. So, if I know that sine B is equal to 4/5, that means the opposite has to be a 4. Hypotenuse has to be a 5. And then I'm missing that side of my triangle. To find the missing side, I'm going to plug it in to a theorem that we use for distance, Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. We have a side length, so we're going to plug that in for A. And we have the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse always goes in for C. And I don't know what B is, so I'm going to leave it a variable. 4 squared is 16 plus b squared equals 25 minus 16. And b squared equals 9. To get the power to go away, we square root it. B equals square root of 9 is 3. Now I can say cosine equals cosine is equal to A over H, 3/5, and tangent is equal to O over A, O over A. That way you've found the trig ratios. Alright, a 6-foot ladder leans against a building. If the ladder makes an angle of 60 degrees with the ground, how far up the wall does the ladder reach? How far from the wall is the base of the ladder? Round your answer to the nearest decimal places as needed. Let's draw a picture. So we have our house, we have our ladder, which makes a right triangle right here with the ground in the house. A 6-foot ladder, so it's 6 feet, leans against a building. If the ladder makes an angle of 60 degrees, so the ladder is making a 60-degree angle with the ground, how far up the wall does the ladder reach? So I'm trying to find how far up the wall. Ooh, this one's going to be hard. This one's going to be on the next assignment, but we'll do it just so you can get a little glimpse of what's coming up. Alright, to find how tall this missing piece is, I'm actually going to label it X. I have this angle here, which means this is opposite, and this is the hypotenuse. If I know opposite and hypotenuse, I want to use sine. Then I choose the angle I used. I used angles of 60 degrees. And it should be O over H. O over H. Alright. We know how to get sine of 60. We just type that into the calculator. But I don't want this fraction over here. I want x by itself. So to get that 6 to go away, because right now it says divide by 6, to undo it I need to multiply by 6 on both sides. That way it cancels out. Now I just enter this in my calculator. Alright, so we would type 6 sine of 60 equals 5 point, I'm going to round up to 5.2. Alright, so if this is 5.2, we know two sides. If we know two sides of the triangle, we can use Pythagorean theorem to find the missing. So we would have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That's always, hypotenuse is always the c. That is our length, so 5.2 squared. Square them. Let's see, 5.2 squared is 27. Minus the 27.4.04. And a squared equals 8.96. Square root it. And the other missing side is square root 8.96 is 2.99. We're going to round it up to 3. I'm going to do this sign, which means about 3. So those are our two missing sides. Alright. Your homework, you're going to be labeling the sides and creating the fractions to represent the ratio for sine, cosine, and tangent.